Hello and welcome to another episode of Holy Unapologetic. My name is Marcus. Very happy to be with you here today with my good friend Ace, who has brought us a wonderful new guest to get to know today. So, Ace, why don't you get us started here?
Yeah. So I'd love to introduce to you guys my friend, Ephraim. Ephraim is an energetic master, and I came to know them through the Erotic Blueprints. They are a lead trainer within that program. And one of my favorite parts about them is their ability to drop into life and be with whatever it arises and find pleasure in that and find ecstasy and joy and just he alludes like happiness, and whenever you're in a room with him it's just like, oh my gosh, I want more of this because it feels so good and juicy. And so, Ephraim, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the pod today and for sharing some of your brilliance with us.
Oh, my pleasure. What an introduction. Thank you so much.
Yes. So, one of the things that you teach actually is the orgasmic breath. And I watched you actually like make love to a flower, and it's like you're making love to life like 24/7. Can you kind of explain to our listeners today, what does that kind of lifestyle look like, and how could someone actually who's maybe having some pain in their life transmute that into pleasure and live from a place that's really just vibrant and full of expression for themselves?
Oh, that is such a great question.
Mm.
And it is everything that I love. I want to paint a picture. In my experience, like a lot of people think that their ecstatic experience is something that is limited to the bedroom, maybe. And then it might arise in other places, maybe through the senses, maybe a really good like bite of food, maybe something catches you and you get that little tingle through your body and it's just like, oh yes, that. And I thought, what if I could have that any fucking time I wanted to? So walking around in a life like that is like a life of the option of ecstasy. It's, oh, this moment, this view, this anything that I happen to be in, or that you happen to be in, can be converted into pleasure. The easy stuff as you start on this path is like through the senses of your five senses of things that you already love. So for me, it's like, something sweet and decadent and delicious that I eat is an easy spot. And it's almost as if you can transmute, like, oh, this is a sensual experience, just like the sensual experiences that happen in the bedroom, only it's happening in my mouth. And I get to have these flavors coat my tongue, and I get to pause and chew and savor and And all of a sudden, the pleasure receptors start to connect into all these other things. All that spot, like our genitals are this fantastic core of how we can learn to spread pleasure through everything. And so you link that bite of food with that genital energy and let this flow start to move up and down your body. And then you really just enjoy these flavors moving through you, and you can pause and then breath. In that pause, you kind of breathe up that channel, and all of a sudden, there it is. Like you can link any part of your body to that kind of energy that we usually put into our genitals, and all of a sudden, all of our body gets to be a genital if you wanted to. You asked about pain also. So, pain emotional pain, physical pain, and this is harder. Like the easy way is food, and then like smelling a flower, like you've seen me make love with flowers. It's you look out at a fantastic sunset, one of my favorites. You hug a tree, literally, and then you're having sex with this tree all of a sudden. Always ask consent, and yes, you can do that with anything. But when you get into the pain space, and kinksters know this better, pain is another sensation. And every sensation, I think, can be converted and connected in with your eroticism and your ecstasy so that that pain becomes just another pathway to fully experience this moment right now. And when you get to be in this moment right now, the entire moment, your entire existence can be ecstatic. And it's just like, they talk about how you just flip a little switch and everything can change. It's true. The switch is not always easy to find, but it's true. So with pain, if you convert, like, say, emotional pain into sensation, and like for me, one of the first times I did this, I was angry and I was sad and I was brokenhearted. And I'm like, oh, I'm feeling this in my chest. What's going on in my chest? And I'm in this sensation of tension. And then this vision of like fire and volcano and lava and destruction comes in. And I'm going, this is fascinating. And I lost track of that this was heartbreak and sorrow and anger, and I got lost in the sensation and the visual of what it was, and it that time totally poofed it, and I'm in this pleasure of, whoa, that's what's actually in there. It was awesome. And you can do that
So
with any pain, I think. You can do that with any pain, I think, because sometimes I might go into emotions and I forget that it's possible. Like, this takes practice. And in practicing, for your encouragement, yes, it's a lifetime of practice. And it really also doesn't take that long to see changes and be in the wonder of it. Because so many people, and I certainly have, sabotage like cool things because, oh my God, that's going to take so fucking long. And why would I start? And, oh, geez, that's 20 years of practice. And believe me, 20 years of practice is really cool. And you'll start to see shifts. You can see shifts immediately. And one of the best ways is, like, say you practice it for a month or 2 months or whatever, and then you look back to, like, make a note. This is where I am now. And you look back and you're like, wow, I've come a long way in a month. Wow, I came a long way in a week. And those checkpoints of going back really are encouraging, because in the moment you'll go, oh, I haven't done anything. And then you have a little comparison point. You can tell I'm excited about this. I'm just going and going.
I love it. I love it. No, it's so good. I would actually love to have a little bit of a dialogue about how do we engage like that pleasure that you're talking about in like real life. And like I had a horrible day yesterday and it took me out for the entire day, right? And all I wanted to do was like go to the bar and drink and be like sit in my sorrows and like process like how shitty my day was. And I think for trans people specifically, like we have a really hard time finding safety in our bodies and actually like allowing those emotions and those feelings to like move through our body, those sensations to move through our body. Cause it's just, we're so used to like always having a threat and always having to like protect ourselves and stand up for ourselves. And I have a curiosity of like, I think you've had part of this in your journey too, of realizing like, okay, there is an outside threat to me. There's like issues and problems, and yet right now in this moment I'm safe. And like how do we navigate this of like being true to the pain that we're feeling and finding safety in our bodies and actually experiencing this like as a full body. Yes, this is in alignment and congruence with how I want to feel and who I am, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds fun. One of my first thoughts as you started talking was about resistance. So I think we as humans have a really strange relationship with truth, right? So we might be in a moment as trans beings where we're looking at the world going, this is a dangerous place. I could be jumped by someone at any moment. Politics are dangerous, everything is dangerous, and it looks like it's just getting worse and worse. And then, in the moment that we're in, maybe you're sitting at home in that moment, maybe you end up at the bar in that moment. If we can come into the moment where I'm safe in my house and latch on to what's happening in this present time, in this present space, then in that we can start to apply this weird logic thing, which is not a great tool most of the time, but we can do it here and we can be like, I'm safe now and here. And nothing is happening to me now and here. And that can spread this little seed of brilliance of that can move through our systems so that we can find safety now and then let that expand as much as we can through time in the future, wherever it is we might be. And we need to feel the thing, right? I'm safe now and I'm feeling immense amounts of fear and my whole body is tense and I'm shaking and I'm terrified and I'm ready to cry or I'm ready to scream and all of it is right there. Now, here's the real kicker. One of the things we're feeling, so like feeling all that is awesome. Like maybe you can go into your body, do the thing that I described, find the image there, feel the sensations. That's one way in. And one of the kicker is that one of the things that we're feeling is resistance to that. I don't want to be afraid and I don't want to be sad and I don't want to be angry and I don't want to be in this fucking world where it's so fucking scary. And what we miss feeling is resistance. And it's like this layer on top of everything that we see as negative. And when we miss feeling that, it's more likely we're going to stay stuck in it. And so what I might do is I'm like, okay, I'm feeling fear and I'm feeling angry and I'm shaking and I resist all of this. I don't want to feel this. Fuck you for fucking feeling this. And fuck the world for having it. I hate this world. How could it be like this? And so then you get into the intricacies of everything that you're feeling because it's probably more like sadness and anger. They like overwhelm all these other things. They cover up things like hate and resistance and maybe sadism when something fucking horrible happens to them over there or whatever it might be. So you get to be, or masochism. Oh my God, I'm actually just kicking the shit out of myself. And the more that we come into what we're actually feeling, the more likely it is to convert. And the whole way, we're not going to want to do it. And so acknowledging that, I don't want to be doing this. Fuck, I don't want to feel this. Oh, I hate this. I'd rather be feeling safe or joyful or turned on and throw everything into the mix that possibly comes in. For me, when I get really angry, I lose track of all that. And I have to wait and I have to breathe until finally something comes in and says, oh, you're also feeling resistance. Right? Totally forgot again. So sometimes when we admit fully, that's the truth part. When we admit fully, as much as we can, everything that's happening to us and make it more conscious, then we get to expand beyond the narrow moment of this is a shitty day and I hate it. Because when we're in that, this is our consciousness, this little tiny space, which is zero space in between my fingers. And as soon as we can go, we've done something miraculous. And what's awesome is we do it all the time because you're feeling better today. And somehow that shifted. Thank goodness. It keeps shifting. It feels like it won't at the time, ever. And then we start to remember why we're trans. Because that's our wholeness. This isn't wholeness. That's just a piece of it. This is wholeness. And when we start to remember that, oh my God, I'm trans and I am me and holy shit. And this is why I did this. And I don't care that my whole family hates me or that I'm afraid people are going to find out and whatever it is, because we remember, here I am again. And that series of admitting to yourself and truth telling about the moment can get you to, here I am again. And then that relief is a gateway to all the ecstasy. Relief is one of my favorite things to feel. Oh, God, fucking did it. Oh, paid the bill. Yes. Oh, my God, if we could celebrate more in the relief. Oh, did it. Ate breakfast. Did it. Woke up. Did it. It's so good.
I really love that example because I feel like I've been struggling a lot with just not wanting to feel anger. And part of me has been kind of laughing about it because like my family doesn't believe that I am male or see me that way. And yet I was raised like one of the boys. I wasn't allowed kind of emotions or tantrums or crying or all these things. And so I really struggle with feeling emotions, feeling safe to. But a big one is just a tightening in my chest of anger. But if I really unpack that emotion, it's usually because I have this frustration with how I was treated. And what that really is just a version of self-love that I've been trying to find and trying to feel. And really my anger is telling me that I deserve kindness and patience and compassion and all of these things that my anger is kind of signifying, that were kind of violated in the past. And so I think that's a beautiful way with your example of working through that emotion to realize that like this anger is actually love, and it's love for myself. And it's a statement that I wouldn't treat other people this way because I love other people and I care about other people. And then I can almost kind of feel it soften. But to really be okay with being present with that emotion is something that I really struggle with. But this gives it such a great direction to then just start to let it feel through your entire body and connect it down, like you said. So this is such a beautiful exercise, and I'm very grateful for this example. So thank you.
Awesome. Fuck yes, Marcus. And then like anger is one of those things that our entire society tells us not to feel. So we have like our whole social construct. I mean, particularly fucking religion, right? You know, it's like, oh, feel love, feel compassion, feel all this shit. It's like, yeah, I feel that too, but God, am I pissed? And they're like, don't feel that though. What am I supposed to do with it then? I'm already there. I'm already feeling it. Yeah, it's horrendous. And then, like, one of my guidelines in there is do no harm. I'm angry. I don't intend to stab anybody for it, or I'm not going to attack anybody. Great. So now anger can be safer to feel because you know that you're not going to, like, go postal. When's the last time someone said go postal? That's hilarious. You know, when I broke the construct of being in a male body, and my whole life, and it is fairly recent for me in the past like 5 years, when I broke that construct and I saw all the ways that the version of being a man had fucked with me and how much I wasn't that. It was like, oh, that is freedom. because I was trying to fit into so many boxes and I was taking so much blame. It must be my fault because I'm a man. And I really knew it had shifted when I was doing this thing. I was in a group and people were watching, and it was like this intense sort of healing, energetic healing thing. And one of the women in the group started talking about her response to that, and what she felt was this like male her trauma around male anger and that whole thing that comes out in so many humans, right? And she started talking about that and how she was experiencing that because I was so loud in the process. And I just listened, and I was like, and and then afterwards I realized, wow, I didn't group myself into that male thing. I was just having my experience, and she had her response, and it had nothing to do with me being in a male body. That was her issue. And that was one of the moments when I realized how much freedom I'd found in abandoning the construct of being a man. I hope everyone gets to do that. I like to say my gender is Ephraim. One of a kind. No one else can do it like this. And then I can pile other shit on if I want to because identity is fluid. Trans people know that. We're so lucky. We're so fucking lucky that we know our identity is fluid.
It's so true. We just get to kind of play with all the toys in the toy box. And I think there is, especially early on in a transition, like for someone like me, there's a lot of desire to pass, and that can be a very exciting thing, but also comes with a lot of safety, and especially in the female to male transition can involve a lot of privilege too. But I'm just excited to remind myself that I'm still allowed to play, and that gender is this fluid thing that I can explore. And yeah, not just get reboxed in now that I look more one way or the other. So yeah, it's absolutely so freeing. It is our kind of our superpower that we wish for everybody. Like we don't want anyone to be in these forced in these boxes that don't fit.
Wouldn't it be awesome? I mean, the whole world telling trans people that they're wrong. It's like, dude, I mean, be you. Be a man, be a woman, be an alien, be whatever it is. Just be you. You are your gender. You get to move and change. How many boxes are you in? Break out and keep the ones you like. I mean, I don't care. Be in a box if you like it. Cats like boxes. They get boxes all the time. Be a cat.
Yeah, my coach describes it as like when we have to fit into boxes that aren't our size, we literally like sever a part of us to fit in. And so a lot of the healing, especially like he said with trans people, is trying to reconnect to those parts of our body that we kind of cut off to fit into someone else's box. So it can be really hard. It can feel like our body isn't a safe place to be in. So it's definitely something I want to continue to work on, and love that you guys are such experts in really in this field. Is really exciting to learn from you both.
I love that image. Like, one of the things that I do is it's like a cosmic soul retrieval. And maybe every soul retrieval is like that. And I think this is accessible to everybody. And it is all the boxes that we've tried to fit in and had to cut off our limbs for. I mean, cut off arms, cut off genitals, cut off our heart. All that shit. It doesn't go away. It's still out there to claim again, to pull back piece by piece. And that's another part of ecstasy. To like, I mean, if we've been chopped into a gazillion pieces, that sucks. And a gazillion times, you're also kind of lucky because a gazillion times you can rejoin into that part and feel wholeness again and go, oh, found it. Oh, there I am. I got this image of putting arms back on Marcus now because of the boxes. It's like little guillotine edges or something, you know?
Totally. It is a bit gruesome. But I think it's helpful too. Like I feel like so much of a religious upbringing severs us from our sexuality. You know, for everybody, it wounds like purity culture wounds everybody. And so trying to reconnect with that without coming from a place of shame is a real challenge. But it's kind of I like how you talked about it in this kind of sort of cosmic reconnection that we can kind of almost sit in that stillness and pull to us what is rightfully ours and try to heal and reconnect and hold it back on so it can heal is a really nice challenge and something. And even for someone like me that struggles with meditating, it makes me excited to think like, oh, I want to kind of sit in that for a bit and have some quiet time on that. So
Yeah.
it's an exciting thing to think of healing.
I struggle with meditating too, and yet I meditate all the time. And one of the things that helped me with that is fuck all of those styles of meditation that are not working for me. I am not someone who will very often sit down and go, although I really like that sometimes now. But but the forcing into any sort of box of meditation has never worked for me. So, Marcus, if you like the idea of being ecstatic with everything, meditate like that. Ooh, that sunset, I'm going to see if I can have a little energetic orgasm with that right now. That's a meditation, baby.
Sounds great.
Or like, grab that arm or finger that you lost and be like, I'm going to see if I can put that back on. And it creates a sensation that is interesting and fits you or me or whatever it is. It fits us more in that moment. Meditation, great. I walk my meditations or whatever it is. Choose your way. We're fluid, baby.
Well, Ephraim, I know of another tool that you use with your clients, and you've used it in yourself for full expression, and that's erotic personas. And it's giving us a space to allow full expression of a piece of us that we may have been hiding or hasn't been able to be expressed because it doesn't feel safe. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about what does it look like to dive into expressing yourself in such a way that you could use one of these personas to actually allow a piece of yourself to be seen by the world?
Yeah. So I got a couple layers to erotic personas. And one thing about that is an erotic persona is basically the piece of you, a piece of you, or your eroticism or your desire that you've disowned for whatever reason. I have a gazillion parts I've disowned around desire and I'm reclaiming. And so finding your erotic persona might be a part of you that you are utterly afraid, maybe not utterly afraid, that you want to own, or a desire that you already have that you want to expand. I'm seeing if I want to give an example of one of mine. I probably do. Hold on. Great. So there's one that I've been developing that I call Ephie Le Pew. And you remember Pepe Le Pew from Looney Tunes? So I have this part of me that just would love to like come up and kiss you all the way up your arm and all over your body and hold you close and mwah, 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 mwah. And I dress up. I have this fabulous like fucking pirate skirt thing and this cane and top hat and I wear all this stuff and you can dress up as this erotic persona and it's this part of me that wants to engage with the world like that. Now, of course, Pepe Le Pew is one of the unfortunate Looney Tunes that is being canceled. Now, my persona is one that is already being canceled by culture, right? Because he's kind of modeled in that spot. My persona is someone who might want to ignore consent a little bit. Oh, come on, let me just hold you and kiss you all over your face, right? There's all of that, and so that's something that doesn't work with character Ephraim. We're not going to do this without consent. And yet there's a part of me that would want to do that, that wants to just, let me woo you. And of course you like it. And he has this suave and this strangeness. And what's interesting about Pepe Le Pew is one of the reasons that nobody wants him, that the cat that he's always chasing doesn't want him, is because he stinks. So it's like this reflection of the rejection of this part of me that stinks, that's repulsive to people. And so there's a piece of this persona that like yearns to be accepted by everybody, and fuck, nobody likes him because he smells so bad and he acts so stupidly and blah 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 blah. But the other thing about Pepe Le Pew and Ephie Le Pew is that he's also unaware of that. There's this space of I'm me and I'm a skunk and I don't understand why you don't like me and I don't understand that I stink. So why are you running? I'm so beautiful. And how incredible is it to like reclaim all those parts and recognize them and realize I'm beautiful even if I stink and even if you don't like me. And oh my God, I can woo you if you'll take me. And then the part of me on the inside that might be like, oh, I'll chase you to the end of time. I will kiss you everywhere. Mwah, 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 mwah. I'll play with my partner Gigi sometimes in these personas, which is not the way to do it to start, by the way. You need to like own it a little bit first. Let your partners know, hey, I've been working with this persona. They can be kind of pushy. They might be like, no, great, that's fine. But having that piece that I get to reclaim is a part of that like cosmic return. I've been disowning that too. Society disowns it. Oh. And then on the way to your persona, there's a gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper is the part of you that's been like, that's bad. And it could be the voice of you or the society or whatever it is, all the roots of it, that doesn't matter. But negotiating with the gatekeeper a little bit, like shame, right? Shame's a gigantic gatekeeper. And shame has so many flavors. And so your gatekeeper is going to be just as distinct as your persona. Like, oh, what's up, George the bully? Shit. Just sits there and fucking kicks the shit out of anyone who tries to like express their desire. That's dangerous, and I'm going to prove it to you. I mean, I've had so many bullies in my life. And it's just another version of gatekeeping. But if you try to go past the gatekeeper directly to your persona, then your persona is more likely to collapse. And so you get to negotiate with this gatekeeper as another part of you that can be loved, that can be converted, that can be filled. Like, oh, wow. I mean, Kingsters know shame is a tool for pleasure. Can be. And sometimes you got to negotiate with these gatekeepers so that you can like keep on integrating and owning the persona on the other side, because shame can shut down nearly anything if you let it. Then beyond the personas, there's archetypes. The archetype of like this lifetime story that we live. And trans folk probably have some kind of, actually, I don't know if this is true, but some kind of a rebel that might arise. Fuck you, society. This is you. There's an archetype. We all have archetypes, and I help people find those too. And it's just like, how can we use these patterns for our empowerment, because that's what they're for, rather than, because everyone has a victim archetype, for example. We all struggle with victimness, which is pointing fingers out there. That's their fault. Pointing fingers this way, I'm victimizing myself now. It's my fault. And yet, as a victim ascends, they lose this sense of pointing fingers, find healthy boundaries, and come to this place where they can be fully, solidly in the world, boundaried, happy, connected, empowered. And when you lose the blame and shame that particular archetype holds, Is freedom again. That's a really hard one to lose. I love blaming people. It's got to be their fault. Fucking religion.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Ace. I absolutely loved that whole section of the conference that we were at last year. So thank you so much for that answer, Ephraim, because that was so exciting to me. And I just kind of forgot about it because it wasn't something super familiar to me. But the idea of being able to have, I've had some acting in my background. So the idea of being able to explore these personas and also hit that gate, because that's probably the biggest reason why I wanted to do this podcast, is to help people heal from shame. Because I finally was able to name it, and I had no idea what to actually do with it, or how to heal it, or how to take it apart. So I love this exercise. So yeah. Ace, do you want to share some of your experience with it too? I want to get everything on this
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah. So what I realized through this journey is we're all playing a character, and I used to say like, "Oh, I wish I could be like so and so," or "I wish I could do this," or "I wish that people would see me this way." And what erotic persona work has done is it's like I can be that. We're all just playing characters. Like if I want to be the good guy or if I want to be the bad guy, like I can choose to be that. I can put on a jacket from back in the day when I had like an athletic jacket that I would wear with like all these like pins on them, and I could be like the jock in the room. Like I can choose to allow that flavor of myself to come out and be expressed in this world. Like as an adult of voice and choice, I can jump into the magic of what does it look like for all of me to be expressed and for people to see different versions of me and to try this on and be like, is this right for me? Oh no, I'm not supposed to be that type of person. I'm not supposed to have that type of attitude or connection with people. Like that's not genuine. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel authentic to who I am. But this piece of me, like it draws something out of me. And so what erotic persona work has done is it's kind of pulled at those threads of those places where I denied myself and I abandoned myself. And it's given me a space to get curious and be like, is that actually a piece of me that I want the world to see? And sometimes it's not. Like I have erotic personas out there that nobody's ever seen before because it's for me. And I don't want other people to have, be in that space of that magic and to see it. I'm not ready for the world to see that piece of me yet. And so, Ephraim, I think you have a lot of expertise in this of like, what does this look like for someone to be like, yeah, like there's this piece of me that wants to be a jock and nobody sees me like that, but like I would like to like dip my toe in that to see if that feels even good. Do you have any like wisdom for like how someone could start working with an erotic persona so that a piece of them could be expressed and what that looks like?
You mean besides working with me?
I absolutely would say you are one of the top 5 mentors that I've ever worked with. So yes, people should absolutely work with you.
Thank you. I think for me, one of the first steps has been to give myself permission. And one of the keys is I never have to take this part of me into public if I don't want to. And the permission to feel, if I want to be a jock and I'm afraid to be a jock, the permission to feel like that. Go to a party, sit in a corner, and just like, here's a meditation for you. Just sit there and do the jock meditation. Yeah, this is what this is. Spread out, let your body maybe follow if you feel bold enough. But that permission piece, because I think one of the barriers along with that gatekeeper, the gatekeeper is the one who's like, no, you can't do that. And so you might be in a gatekeeper relationship with that jock persona of what it means to be that. It's like, oh, you can't be that. Actually, we're just going to try it on for like 5 minutes, maybe just a minute. And the gatekeeper is like, okay, I can do it for a minute, and then we're going back to normal. And those little bits can be, oh, you try it on, and then you keep your word. You do it for a minute, come back, you check in. Hey, gatekeeper, that wasn't so bad, right? Yeah, that wasn't so bad. You want to do it again? Well, okay. Or no, definitely not right now. No, not doing that. Maybe next week. Okay, we'll negotiate on that, but we're not going to do it right now. And so that titrating in is a really important part of being able to come into a persona and be able to integrate it eventually into your you-ness. Because I've got character Ephraim here, and I might put Ephie Le Pew over there, like, oh, I can't do that all day, every day. And so then it's not fully in here yet. And so the titration is, oh, trying it on, trying it on, trying it on. And then maybe one day you see me walking around with a cane all the time, and that might be my Ephie Le Pew cane. Here's my sophisticated. And that is this, that's, you can do that with these little pieces, these little talismans you carry around that are like magical, like symbols of, yeah, I'm the jock right now. Nobody knows it. I'm still me. And I have that piece of me, whatever you're trying to reclaim from it, right here in my pocket. That's my change. I've got a magical coin in here, or my underwear that I have on. It's, my fucking jock underwear, or whatever that might be. And you steadily let it emerge in the world until you walk around with it. You might not have changed at all on the exterior, but you've owned that part, and that's where it goes. This is about owning your wholeness. Cosmic soul retrieval. Got my jock back. I always wanted that. What's next? Or I'm going to rest and let it arise in you. Like the what's next, that can be a trap too. You're perfect already. I promise you're perfect already. You just don't know it sometimes. Maybe most of us don't know it all the time, but it's still, you are perfect. You cannot be anything except perfect. Your story is perfection, no matter how hard it's been. I love the moments when I come to these moments where it's like, oh, I look back at my life and I say, thank you. Thank you for every hard thing that's happened to me. Thank you for every transition. Thank you for everyone that's hated me and everyone that's loved me, because without that, I wouldn't be me right here. And in this moment, I really like me. That usually doesn't happen when I'm not liking myself, but that'll change. We talked about that.
That is so powerful. So, can you summarize for us? Like, I know we have just a couple minutes here, but would you summarize what it's like to coach with you? And then, I guess, as we wrap up, any other resources you would recommend to people to kind of start this healing journey?
Oh, right. So, coaching with me is, we are on a journey together. And that journey is to you. And I'm concurrently on my journey to me, because I can't help it and you can't help it. And we get to be in that journey and find you as far as you have fragmented or not. Discover your desire and how to be in ecstasy anytime you want to. And just connect with this moment and let it spread out in this radiance or darkness, depending on what you love the best of you. And we get to go on that journey together with whatever tools that I have at my disposal and whatever tools that you have at yours. We're in collaboration to find this and to expand it. I had someone say to me once, you're the person to go to when the therapy stops. Because therapy gets you to a point, and then where do you go to expand from there? And for me, we can do it even before then. But I've loved being that person. I've called myself in the past the joy specialist. Let's find what makes you super fucking joyful, because all the shit that is surrounding you, the pain and the tough experiences in your life, the traumas that you hold in your body, all of that will come out if it needs to be dealt with. And sometimes when you move towards how do you want to feel? Joyful, ecstatic, in the moment, safe, that other stuff sheds before having to take every single one and be like, yeah, but what about this time in my youth? What about this time in my youth? I have moments that I'm still working on and lots of moments that I never had to work on because I moved into the practice of being ecstatic. So I guess that's what it's like to work with me. It's a good sum up too, I think. Let's be ecstatic.
Yes. And just from like a client perspective, like I've been your client, and I had massive fears, and I was scared of going into the dark. And your ability to literally just be with me in those moments and allow me to not only feel those but like go through them and be held and be like just, I don't know how to put this into words, but like the work that you do is so critically important, especially it was in my journey of like how to move forward. I don't know. Like I had fear and I was being protective and I wasn't able to like dive into like my tender self and what really wanted to be expressed because I was like protecting myself from the world. And so I guess what I'm saying is when somebody gets to work with you, Ephraim, like you're an energetic master, you work with magic, and I never would have guessed like the outcome of our sessions together. Like nobody could have guessed it. And also, they were transformational and pivotal moments in my journey where it was like, oh yeah, I needed to experience that to unlock what was next for me in my journey. So I just want to say like deep gratitude, and I'm so thankful for you pouring into my life and for you to just like be able to step in and into those spaces where not everybody can, and just be like, your brilliance is being able to be there in the moment and help people move through whatever it is that's arising for them, and then transmute that into like a joyful exuberant life thereafter.
Yeah, thank you. I love that you brought in the dark because I'm a dark worker and I'm a light worker. And I will go with you into those dark places where the terrifying creatures are that no one wants to believe in and everyone is resisting. And we'll make them your allies. Or we'll toss them the fuck out. Thank you, Ace. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ephraim.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We are so grateful sharing your light here with our audience. So we'll wrap up here, and I'll make sure to share lots of resources down below for our guests to get to know you better and get connected to you. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Ace, as always, and we'll connect with everyone on the next episode of Wholly Unapologetic.